Hello there. I just want to spend a bit of time explaining the Steam Overlay Fire Missions sheet. That's from the perspective of the CPO and the mortar gunner. So without further ado, this is what it looks like. Basically, you'll get at the top here, you'll get the this link. You'll get it from the on the TS, our team speak, and each company have got their own. This one's obviously ours. Um, so you'll get your own copy, make a copy of it, and retail it as your own, like mine there, Donny's copy. Top left, then you've got who owns it. In this case, 91 FSG. The map is you can put it in if you want. You don't need to. Underneath there, you'd put the date, and moving across to the right, this is the gun location. This is your location when you set up the pit. So you've got your east-ins, your north-ins, which is going to be a 10-figure grid, and your meters above sea level. Moving further across, this is more information for the gunner. So your location is gun location A. Obviously, it's going to be that one there. Um, fire missions. Fire missions will go to like probably 200, no 50, sorry. Yeah, you very rarely go above 30 fire missions in a night, but that's where they go into, and that corresponds down to the bottom left here, which I'll come on to in a minute. Next, we've got the round type. We mainly use two types, either high explosive or white smoke. Um, we very, very rarely, if at all, use high explosive air bursts. Next across is the charge, what charge for the mortar to use. A lot of these actually we don't use, and they won't show anything when all the information's put into the system. But the charge will, the round type will, azimuth, which is obviously this is for your very first bomb that's going out, and your elevation. Further to that, you've got number of rounds, and near the end there, you've got time of flight in seconds. That'll be. So next one down on the left here, we've got the environment, um, things that are going to affect the round when it's in the air. Um, so you've got things like your wind speed, wind direction, your pressure, and the air temperature. And this information you're going to get from your Kestrel. Right across here on the right hand side, you've got the black bar. This would be normally if you've got a second mortar tube. So very rarely used, and in fact, this one is disabled, so it doesn't actually work, this one. Underneath that, if we've got line missions, this is bomb 1, bomb 2, and so on, however many bombs you're going to use. The azimuth and elevation obviously speaks for itself. Below that then we've got the main fire mission recording, and this is what the pre-fires, like in this case we've got two fire missions that are already written out as pre-fires. That information you'll get from your pre-mission meetings from the OC and the section commander and that, where they want to have preempted smoke lines or HE to soften a particular area up before the guys go in. And yeah, so that's obviously your fire missions. East-ins, north-ins, same as your location one, 10-figure grid, meters above sea level. notes. You can put anything in there. If it's going to be a line mission, it's just a jog. It's only for information for yourself. Basically, it's if it's a line mission, what type of target it is, whether it's tanks, troops in the open, whatever. You can put that in there. Rounds, number of rounds to be used. Usually, when you get a fire mission called, they'll let you know how many rounds they want and what type, whether it be HE or white smoke. The dispersion bit, as far as I'm aware, isn't active. We don't use it, or I've not seen it used anyway. Um, and if it's a line mission, we'd have a bearing, a distance, and the space in between the rounds. Now that one is actually a line mission. It should have a bearing on there, which I shall get. In fact, I'll tell you it's already 260. So point missions is just exactly what it is just on that grid and nothing more. Line mission, in fact, I'll show you it now. Line mission is extra 002. So 02, go on to here. It'll get all that information. In fact, it won't because I haven't put our grid in yet, which we'll come on to in a bit. But that's basically where all the line missions are going to go to. The point missions, and indeed the line missions, if they need adjustments, they'll go into this section. So if the rounds are hitting, say, 50 meters to one side, then where the rounds actually hit, you take a bearing from that to actually where it needs to go. Or the MFC or whoever's on the ground giving you the adjustment will say, if you're lucky, he'll give you a bearing. Otherwise, you'll just say adjust left 50 meters. So it'd be just a case of bearing 270 being left, and meters, however every meters it is, and you can do your adjustments up to 3 times there before it starts getting complicated. And that is basically the sheet in as a whole. Now to get it onto the game as an overlay, you make a copy of this address at the top, like so, and we go into the game, and your key binding for your Steam overlay, press that, and then your bottom left. Now everything I'm explaining to you is based on my own PC, which has only got one monitor. If you've got 2 monitors, you don't need to tab out and all the rest of it. You can just have your fire mission sheet set up on your second monitor. This is for if you've just got the one monitor, but you can take what you need from this video. So left click on the button at the bottom there, and this is where you're going to paste in your fire mission sheet. Press enter, and there we go. Now this sheet, as you can see, it doesn't show you the whole thing. This is showing you from the gunner's point of view. So the gunner, he doesn't need to see all the details of the sheet. This is what he basically needs, is just this line at the top here is the main thing that he's interested in. And if it's a line mission, this one here. All the rest, everything below that is the CPO. So once it's tailored down to this area, and it goes into the overlay, and you're looking through the sight of the mortar, you'll have this as the overlay, and at the top you'll be able to see in red your azimuth, and at the bottom right you'll see your elevation. And if it was the full screen, obviously it'd be masking that, so it's a bit harder to see. So instead of pressing escape, you press minimize. Otherwise, next time you come into using it, you got to repaste it in every time. So just minimize and back to game, and that is it, done. So Now when go when I want it, I'll just click on there, click that out, and there we are. So you can see it's pretty transparent. You can alter the transparency, how how well you can see through it, or not at all, if required. I'll just get rid of that for now. Remember, minimize, not delete. So, as I would normally do it as a gunner and the CPO, basically the you both got roles to play in the setting up of the mortar pit. And what the driver would do, or the gunner, he'd jump out, and the two IC, i.e. the CPO, would tell him set up a trench facing rough east. So if you'll go and you'll do a vehicle trench, which is that horseshoe shaped one. While you're digging the trench, the CPO is taking out the mortar that he's taken out of the cargo of the vehicle. When you first come into the game for the night, it's usually broken down and in the vehicle inventory. So you'll set it up at the beginning of the night. Once it's set up, just put it into the cargo so you can just get it out and it's all ready to go. So what he's going to do, he's going to grab the mortar and he's going to place it into the center at the front of the mortar pit, like so. Well, that'll do. Right, next thing he does is he needs a grid. You need to know where you are. This is where you start filling in the details of your mortar fire sheet. So you can activate your micro dagger, and there you have it. Your east ins, your north ins, and your MSL. That's all the details you need for this one at this time. So I'll just make a note of that. It's also good to have a notepad nearby. Well, I find it is anyway. 20455. MSL is 205. Okay. Next bit of information we need is from the Kestrel, the environment data. So there's lots of different pages on here. There's very little you actually use. Screen one is what we have. First of all, you've got your direction of the wind. So in this case, it's 56 northeast. So 56. Next one is the speed, meters per second, which is 0. Sounds a bit daft that it's 0 speed, but it's still got a direction. That's just armor, and you do need to put it in. So that's 0 meters per second. That's it for that page. Next one is the temperature, which is 12.8, and below at the bottom there we've got the pressure, the HPA, which is 988. That's everything we need for the fire sheet. So if I tab out and go to the sheet, we can see here top of the sheet where we're at. So it's 15286 2055. MSL is 205. Okay, now that we've got those in, you can see here the line missions filled out. But I'll come on to that in a second. So wind was 0. Wind direction was 56. Wind pressure was 988. Temperature was 12.8. Okay, so for a line mission then, this is you'll tell the gunner line mission or a point mission. Basically, you'll tell him line Fire mission, HE, charge 2. This is what you'd call out to him. The details. 10 rounds, um, fire when ready. What he'll do then is you'll see the first bomb is the same details up here. First bomb he'll let you know one away, and what I do to help the CPO is I'll remind him on the time of flight for that first bomb, because he's going to come up on the fires net and say round away, time of flight, and then whatever it is. So in this case, time of flight 29. Then that's basically all you need to tell him as a CPO to tell the gunner. You only really need to let him know that first one. That helps him when he's getting the gun on to target, so to speak. Once you've done that, you can be doing a dozen other things, which you've obviously got to do. Leaving him to just get on however many rounds it is, up to 10 rounds. 10 rounds ago, 10 away, rounds complete, mission complete, time of flight 29. And then that's like the gunner talking to the CPO. CPO then come up on the fires net, rounds complete, time of flight 29. What it can also do, if it's not a pre-fired one, is let the calling station know for future reference this is a recorded target as Lima X-ray 001, or in this case Lima X-ray 002. That is about it, I think. So anyway, that's him doing all that bits. So while the CPO is doing this and putting all the details into the sheet, the gunner is getting all the boxes. Usually we'll have one of smoke and one of HE. It doesn't matter what side it goes, so long as it goes close enough to the gun. And it'll look a bit cramped, but it's actually okay. So yeah, the smoke and the HE, it really doesn't matter what side it goes on. What I will say though is when you've used up all, you've got one box empty, get it out of the way. Just bog it out of the way, 20 meters out of the way, because when you get your replen, your new boxes, you may get more than one box, and it just keeping things clean and tidy. So, as the gunner, you'll get in, you'll do your steam, your overlay, and then look through the gun. And now you can see at the top there, it's got my azimuth in red and elevation bottom right. And because I've narrowed down the sheet, it's got all the bits of information what I need, and I can still see the sheet and see the information that I put in red. So just wonder why that's why is that like that? Temperature. Ah, right. 12.8. It should be right. Just wonder why it didn't show up on the. Yeah, it does now. Yeah, the gunner. It's very. You see how quick, and for the actual movement, how quick the azimuth moves. Good tip. Zoom all the way in, and it moves a lot more slower. So for this one, line mission. The line mission, Lima X-ray 002, HE, charge 2, 1187. 1187 is where the first round's going to go. with an elevation of 993. 993. 993. That's it, ready to go for that first round. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, 10 rounds, charge 2, azimuth and elevation of checks, so we're good to go. So as a gunner, it'd be like 1 away, time of flight 2-9, and then I'm automatically going on to the next one. Now you can see it won't actually go there. It's because the mortar isn't perfectly on flat ground, but 1 mil is little to no difference. 002 wants to be. So, oops. Noob. Go away. Yeah, it's not very flat ground. Three away. That was 4 away. 7-9, it's 3-0. 5 away. 7-7. 0. 6 away. 7-5. 4-9. 7 away. 2, 5-8. 8 away. That's not going to go again. 6-7. 8 away. It's not going to go. 9 away. 6-8. It's also 7-7. Okay. I'll just come out, see what that is. It was actually the line mission. So it's gone. It was from there down to there. And that's it. So the last round of 10 away, mission complete, time of flight 2-6 or 2-9 or whatever it was, and you'd pass up as a CPO, you'd pass up that to the fire nets to the guy that the relevant people. So what you also might get is just a point target. So look, I've got to tab out again. This time it's 0-2. 0-1, is it? Yeah, 0-1. Okay. So charge 2, HE, Azimuth 1648, 16. 1648. elevation 1171. 171. So 5 rounds. One away, time of flight 3-2. Then you'd send that up the net exactly as I said it as well. 2 away. 3 away. 4 away. 5 away. Right, let's have a look. That was pretty bang on actually. Since I was aiming for the tower. There you go, job's done. Now the MFC, or the calling station that called that fire mission, he may want a repeat of that, so you just do exactly the same again, and on your fire mission sheet you'll just put in the end repeat, and then it'd be like 1 repeat. If he was out, then you'd put your bearings in there. So like I said before, if it was like left 50 meters, then you'd put your bearing on there. Left 50 meters, so it'd be like 270, 50 meters, for example. And that is it, mate. So I hope that was a help, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye bye now.